We are going to be doing a little thing here just to start. And there's an element of class participation if you guys want to get involved. I'd love to hear what you all have to say about it for sure. But I was watching Renfail this morning when I got up after spending 15 hours in bed. And he kept getting asked over and over again, as he usually does when he's playing Starfield, like, hey man, what are like the creations that I should buy? Like, I just got my PlayStation or I just got my Xbox. Like, where do I spend my Todd bucks? And he's like, you know what? I have no idea because I just started playing with mods. They were never my thing, and now I'm starting to get into it. It's cool, but I don't know. Ask Bubbles. And, I'll run in there and, like, type out a few things. Somebody asked, what are, like, your favorite paid companions in Starfield? And I was like, oh, paid companions. I mean, it's got to be Derek, right? Derek's, like, the top of the pops. And Robin Locke's pretty cool, especially now that there's been a couple of changes to her quest line, a couple little tweaks here and there. I love Lyria. Gilligan's awesome. I haven't played with the guy from Skyrim, so I can't really give an impression on that one. But there's always like things you can recommend, right? So I told Renfail I'll make a video, and I'll do it Renfail style, where I'll just talk in front of the green screen. And we'll get the crowd involved, and we'll see what everybody thinks, and we'll talk about some of our favorite mods or creations or whatever, and some of our favorite mod authors and verified creators. And so I've made a list, and I'm on this save because this save has everything, right? And who knows what will happen with this save tomorrow, because it's got all my SFSE, my Starfield script extender stuff, which is probably going to be broken tomorrow. I mean, it's possible they got early access and they'll have like a new SFSE up in like an hour after the game launches. Anything's possible. I would love that. Wouldn't you guys love that? You hardcore Bethesda players, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you got your script extender mods. You don't want to go without those things. I mean, like, look at this. Can your action bar, your hotkey bar, do that? Because that's a script extender. That's what gives me all those extra buttons, all those extra places to put powers and guns and, everything else. And without the script extender, that's broke. And I'm back to 5, 5, 5, and 5, which is fine. But I'll miss it when it's gone. Or my friend Raven, who loves Starvival. And how you going to go without Starvival and not have, those kind of ability to sort. Like I can sort here by damage and DPS. What is my most ass-punching weapon in my repertoire here? And that happens to be the Lumi modified advanced with a DPS of 32, 36 and a damage of 809 per 50 cal shot. Like, I don't get that kind of data when I'm running the vanilla UI. So, I'll miss some of this stuff. This might not be broken. It doesn't require a script extender. I thought it did. Raven pointed out that it did not. And so, maybe we'll still be able to run Star UI, and that's freaking awesome. But I think more than anything else, if the last couple weeks taught me anything about Bethesda games and Starfield in particular, I gotta say that vanilla is still fun as hell. I played vanilla on this with this while I was on vacation, folks. That's an iPhone and an Xbox controller. And at first I could not figure out how to get mods on there to save my life. It just wouldn't work that way, so I played pure vanilla for 10, 12 hours, and I still had a good time. Now, I wasn't only doing that on my vacation, obviously, so it was here, there, a little bit here, a couple days later, a couple more hours. But it was, what it was, and it's what I had. Starfield's a fantastic game, vanilla. It's even better with mods. It's even better with creations. Let me see what Raven's saying here. Star UI is the mod I will miss the most. If it's not working after the update, I will be a sad cat. Yeah, I hope it's working. I hope it's working for you. And I hope that if it's not, that it comes up really quickly and that you get it back as quickly as possible. But I hope that you don't let that ruin Christmas for you. because, you know, it's just a little thing that we can do without for a few hours here and there until it comes back. And I'm sure they're going to be on the case making sure this stuff comes back. I have a funny feeling that we're going to be okay. We're welcoming in a whole bunch of new captains pretty soon. A bunch of PlayStation 5 players who've never had a chance to play this game, who don't give a shit about, you know, the hype train or the hate train or whatever, and have just been waiting their turn to play Bethesda games. They love Bethesda games. Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Oblivion, Skyrim, hell, Elder Scrolls Online, all available on the PlayStation. So they want to play Starfield 2, and they get to come in tomorrow and start playing with the rest of us. And I wasn't sure until this afternoon whether or not there would be any creation type mods, any stuff with unique assets, because PlayStation has historically been pretty picky about what it allows for mods for Fallout 4, for example. And I'm starting to hear, you know, little chirps here and there, little barks, little nibbles from some mod authors and whatnot who are already planning out their PlayStation releases. I assume they know something that I don't. I'm not terribly smart. I'm just on 45 Discords, you know, so I kind of keep my ear to the ground, as it were. But enough bullshit. Enough bullshit. Pedro says, yeah. Hell yeah. This update has so much stuff in it, makes up for any inconvenience it might cause. Well said, Raven. I agree. I absolutely agree. But I did promise Renfail that I would produce a video, so I'll have to cut this part out like he does. We'll timestamp it like Renfail does. That'll be hilarious. I love it. Renfail's a buddy of mine. I like the way he does things. And I've got some editing software now that I'm starting to learn how to use. But I'll be damned if I'm terribly good at it. I stream for fun. I do this and have a good time with it. I have a lot to learn about being a video editor. So I'm going to do it like this. We're going to talk about creations for a few minutes, and then I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to send it over to Renfail so he has something to share with his chat in the morning when people ask, what are the good creations that I got to get, bro? What's up? He can go, ask Bubbles, and here's a link. So, I guess let's get started. Raven, what is your favorite creation or mod ever, and is it available? Well, tell me what it is, and I'll let you know if it's available on the Xbox. And by then, we'll be able to judge whether it'll be on the PlayStation or not. I think I know, because it's the one that you struggle playing without the most, other than Star UI. But I don't want to put words in your mouth, so... Pedro, I'm not sure. Are you you're a Starfield player, right? I know you're a Fallout player. Yeah, Sky UI is good. I mean, it is. It's Sky UI, Skyrim's UI, Star UI. Same idea, Ram. Absolutely, and it's fantastic, and it adds a lot of depth and whatnot to the menu system. And I don't want to live without it, for sure. But Ravens is Starvival. Now, I don't play with Starvival. I like Bedlam and Darkstar, that combination. I like to balance things that way. But I have friends who love Starvival, swear by it, like Will and Raven. And for them, it makes the game like that much better to have those mods. Starvival, I'm pretty sure, is... I see you, Hallowed Devil. Speaking of the Xeno Master, down in the lower corner of the rotating screen here. I'm pretty sure Starvival's on Xbox. I don't know for sure, and I can't just check, unfortunately, because I'm playing on Steam right now. But yeah, if that is, and they could bring it to the PlayStation, then that'll probably make a whole new legion of fans who appreciate the Starvival style of gameplay, and that'll be freaking awesome. Speaking of Xeno Master, though, Ghost Rider 231, the man, the myth, the legend, announced today that he is coming out with a new version of... he recently updated Xeno Master, but he's coming out with a new one, and I believe... Let me check real quick here. I don't want to misspeak, but I believe it's 317. Give me a second here. I'm going to check real quick. And we'll see if we can figure it out exactly. Yeah. Is it 317? I don't know. I can't find it offhand. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But Ghost Rider, the creator of the Xeno Master mod, which allows my character here to have his own pet Ashta, which is the reason why Aquila City has 3 walls in its concentric rings around their city, because they're terrified of what Ashtas can do to unprotected human bodies. And it's a lot, and it's a mess. But my character loves Ashtas, and always has an Ashta with him wherever he goes. Now, Xeno Master is awesome because you can, for example, let's open up the Xeno box here. You can fill up these boxes with up to 400 Xenos. In fact, I'm pretty sure, because I've seen Will do it, you can collect every Xeno type in the game and get achievements for that and special rewards from the Xeno Master mod. It's pretty freaking amazing. And that is definitely, I think, probably the more common way to play with Xeno Master. But Bubbles just gets an Ashta and maybe a Terramorph and calls it good. I like to have pets that I imbue personality on in a role-playing sense and then keep them around for a long time. It doesn't mean I don't appreciate that you can tame any of the Xenos with Xeno Master. It just means that, so far at least, that's never been my focus for Xeno Master. But do I feel like I got my buck's worth out of it? Hint, by the way, to anyone who might be watching this later, you can get the free version of Xeno Master. It's currently the most feature-complete version, and in fact, they've been Ghost Rider's been rolling some of the patches for things like the Doom, the King Gath Doom expansion, and Shattered Space. The Trade Authority buys and sells in Xeno gear. Those type of patches for it are now being rolled into the mod itself. So some of this stuff is literally depreciated in my load order right now because the new version of Xeno Master takes care of that for me, which is a trip. Here we go. Xeno Master add-on. Trade Authority can sell Xeno Master items. Actually, technically don't need this anymore. It just happens to be in my load order till I go through the Unity again. But Xeno Master by itself is sufficient to bring that functionality into the game now. So onward and upwards, always adding new things. Ghost Rider 231, can't say enough good things about him, and he's a verified creator. He sells a version of Xeno Master for $1, but a lot of us run the non-achievement friendly version because up until now we needed that version for the patches. That's just the way the Bethesda system and the Nexus system works. So I would argue if you're going to get the free version, throw him a buck anyway and buy the verified creator achievement friendly version and just don't download that one. Download the other one. But that's my personal preference. Xeno Master latest update is 1.277. I think that's what we just saw. So I'm not sure what his version for the PlayStation is going to be, but it's going to include all of the add-ons. So even Thorgan is having to make a few changes with his mod, which I have, because Ironside Industries is the Mac. And if you're a Xeno Master, Hallowed Devil enthusiast like myself, you definitely need to have the Ironside Industries Hallowed Devil's welcome kit over here by the lodge whenever you start a new Unity. That's just mandatory, right? It adds so much to the game. Xeno Master creates an entirely new dimension to the game because not only can you have a human companion, but you can also have a Xeno pet. I think up to 3, actually. So there you go. In fact, Bubbles is, let's see, xenobiologist. So when I made this character to be the brother of Violet Moonshine, I made him a xenobiologist because I knew already that he was going to be a Xeno Master. So there you go. Now let's talk about a couple of more mods real quick. Let me grab my little thing here so I'm not awkwardly looking over. I want to talk real quickly about what I love about mods. What's up? Last man game plan in the house. GP. What is up, man? I was misreading your name for a second there because I'm old and blind. I was like, Last Mango, what? Last Mangoes? I've lost my mangoes. Good to see you, buddy. I hope you've been having fun in 76. Two things that I don't do. I'm not a channel that reviews mods. That's not my thing. I don't want to review anybody's work. I'm not interested in that. I enjoy what I enjoy. I leave the other stuff to the other people that enjoy it. I don't get on my high horse about my favorite mod is better than Raven's favorite mod or whatever, because we have different taste in mods, and that's what makes, you know, having friends that play the game and watching their streams and all that kind of stuff even better, is you get to see whole new elements of gameplay. But for me, my favorite type of creations or mods are narrative, RPG, story type mods or creations. And real briefly, I'll say that AlmightySE, who's the maker of The Veil and Beyond the Veil and Everbright and Farseer and Continuum and Lyria, and the gang's all here. The last two are a companion mod and a mod that adds a bunch of crew that can also be used as companions in a pinch. But the first 5 being neat little quest mods that run $4, $5, $6. I don't remember offhand. It's been so long since I bought them. But they're, you know, somewhere between 3 and 6 hours or so. They have built-in dialogue steps for characters that have been through the Unity, so they have replayability just like the base game. And I really enjoy his puzzles and his encounters and his overall level design, as well as his stories and his voice acting and everything else. So one of my favorite quest mods of all time is Everbright. And you get this gorgeous redhead companion who you can even romance if you play your cards right. So there's a modded romanceable companion for you if you're looking for one. Another mod that I can't play without is Bedlam by Gothos. Bedlam is amazing, and it randomizes encounters in the open world and in dungeons in such a way as to I never know exactly what I'm going to be facing, or if I'm going to walk into the middle of a firefight between 2 rival factions. Between that and Darkstar, it makes my difficulty just perfect, you know. So I've got to have my Bedlam. And now there's a version of Bedlam, I don't know if it's made by the same creator, for Fallout 4, and I can't wait to dig into that and see how that changes things up. What is up, X2357? We're just yakking a little bit about our favorite creations and verified creators, mod authors, mods. But mostly I'm talking about creations right now because we're trying to provide a service to Renfail's community and give them some ideas for some things they could spend their Todd bucks on when they fire up their PlayStation 5s tomorrow morning. Personally, by the way, let's get right to that. I would actually recommend the Trackers Alliance. $7, you get 7 quests. You get a new spaceship, a bunch of new outfits, a new spacesuit, some new weapons, player base, a couple of them actually. I think you get a player home too. Just a terrific value for $7. And it is part of the Bethesda triple attack for their current season of Starfield releases. So when they advertised Terran Armada and Free Lanes, and over here on the side was, you know, Trackers Alliance, because they added that additional 5 quests. So if you're only going to spend the 10 free dollars that they give you, I would say that you can't really go wrong with Trackers Alliance. Other people might have a different opinion. John Coons, here from Renfail's community, but on the Xbox. There you go. Same type of thing. I think we're going to see, it sounds like, and this is just based on, I'm on like 45 different Discords for content creators and awesome, creative, beautiful people that make stuff for this game and other Bethesda games. And I've started to see the chatter, and it's starting to look like something's going on with PlayStation, and there's going to be more than we are traditionally used to with Fallout 4 as far as outside or third-party assets. I think at least for verified creations. But don't quote me. I'm not a guru, and I'm not an insider. I don't have any inside information other than I've seen some chatter, I won't mention any names, about mod authors who are already planning their PlayStation 5 releases. So, Trackers Alliance went from worst to first. Truth. X2357 coming in clutch with the real. I personally always love the meme of ignoring the tracker alliance person that they send over to invite you to talk to them in Aquila City, because I like the first two quests and I like doing them on every Unity, but all of my friends would like just go out of their way to avoid her. I think in protest for what a raw deal that $7 for 2 little quests was. But now with 7 quests for $7, how can you go wrong? Turned it from 0 to hero, right? X? For sure. Let's move on and talk about some of the other things. Now, some of the things that I can't really speak to on a personal level, but I can vouch for because I have good friends who play this game almost as religiously as I do. And they do these things all the time. And by these things, I mean outpost building and starship building. And I am just getting into that with my current vanilla-ist playthrough over on the Xbox, and with my current run of Starfield characters over on the PC. So I don't have a lot of experience here, but Deskel and the Fulcrum and Supra Antares mods look sick as hell, and they are definitely in my load order, and I can definitely avail myself of their pieces in use when I do the proper things to unlock them, presumably. I can't really remember off the top of my head. Another one I love is Lambent. That's Miss O. Miss O, all their stuff looks like something right out of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and that's one of my favorite games of all time. So whenever you get those crazy pinks and greens and pastel colors in spaceship parts and outpost parts, I gotta have it. But I will move into doing that stuff more and have more of a considered opinion on it. But as it stands, those are things that, you know, Sweet Pea and Thorgan Ironside recommend. Friends that I know that play with a lot of spaceship parts or outpost parts and do those things. On the same token, we've got Sweet Pea and Tailored Spaces. I have Tailored Spaces in this load order. There's like something like 230 different outpost pieces, most of which are custom assets added to this game. Are you kidding me? What a fantastic value. And Sweet Pea is awesome. Not only a verified creator, but a streamer, and every weekend they do a different interview with another verified creator. X has been on there, Ghost Rider's been on there, and they talk about the process of making mods and creations and whatnot. And it's always fascinating. I listen to it over on the YouTube side or listen to the replay, and it's badass because I'm not usually up that early in the morning. I'm more from the Axl Rose school of getting up in the morning, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? You know where I'm. Yeah, never mind. Doesn't matter. Drink a little tea to keep myself lubricated. Let's catch up with chat a bit here. I haven't played Starfield in almost 2 years, says John Coons, and know nothing about the mods. I just want 1 or 2 official mods to increase graphics, but that don't break achievements. Huh. Okay. I'm hearing what you're saying, and I don't know if I could run without my deluxe LUTs, L-U-T-S. But if you're talking about official stuff that won't break achievements, that'll increase your graphics by quite a bit, Rabbit's Real Lights not only has a little quest line to it, and you get a ball cap and some fun toys and a screwdriver that acts as a weapon in a way that Doctor Who never intended, but you get amazing lights all throughout the settled systems in cities and towns. Let's see if we can run around here while we're talking about this. It's a little on the daylight side, so we're not going to really see too much about Rabbit's lights here, unfortunately. Well, let's see if we can take off and just go somewhere else where it might be dark already. Let's see. What about Voli? Can't make it all that way over there. Are you kidding me right now? We can make it to RNA. Let's do that. I'll probably get interdicted by Watchtower. And I'm going to jump out of here again and go to Voli, because I guarantee you we're going to have enough darkness over there to be able to actually see Rabbit in action. But yeah, I would say Rabbits would be one that would really visually add something to your game and still keep it achievement friendly. And I think it's an awesome mod. I'm trying to think of another visual mod. You know, I'm more of a story and narrative guy personally, so it's trying to come up with one. Maybe X knows something, or Raven, one of the other players in the chat, or Arcane even. You're gonna do Vanilla Mantis again soon, and maybe install the Alt Mantis mod. Okay, and in Trackers Alliance, there may be something semi-related to bugs. You never know. I don't want to say for sure or give anything away. But I think we've been scanned. Can we head down to Voli Alpha and go into Neon and see about Rabbit's Lights while we're talking about these mods? Wicked Gaming, Darkstar. The other half of how I balance difficulty in my game is with Darkstar difficulty and Bedlam. It's just how I like to do it. And you can't go wrong with Darkstar. Darkstar's a $10 complete overhaul of the game. But Darkstar is one of those mods, like King Gaff's, McLaren's, and Watchtower, that I am not going to be running in my normal streams starting tomorrow. I may add them back very quickly, depending on how quickly the team looks at how things are balanced with the new game systems and the overlap that may or may not exist with those mods. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to run with them now because I want to be able to see what is added by the new DLC and the Terran Armada, and what is, say, for example, interdiction by Watchtower, or adding legendary effects to weapons with McLaren's versus whatever this new system is with that metal that we're supposed to be able to earn. Zion Savior! Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. To Angry Mechanic. The Singularity Sold series with the Crimson Fleet player home is awesome. And you can't go wrong with that. It's one of the coolest things that I've seen put into the game. And it actually makes me want to do like a full-on Lawful Evil, Neutral Evil, Crimson Fleet Loyalist playthrough, because he did such a terrific job putting together Singularity Sold series. And he's got a couple other mods too. The Maheo mod that makes it breathable. I wouldn't run a load order without that mod. At least I wouldn't go to Maheo until I was able to get it in there. Excuse me. What else? Well, as you can see from my character, I am rocking Zone 79 gear. This is several pieces from the Bounty Hunter set.
Hello.
And it is amazing. Let's see what we got here. Let's go outside into the beautiful Rabbit's Lights. And we'll take a look at our character here, illuminated by all this neon and crap, which won't be the best light source for this, but definitely fits the vibe. All right, so we're wearing the Bounty Hunter gear, and there's probably, I don't know, 50 pieces, 35 pieces of Bounty Hunter gear just in that one mod by Zone 79. But if I'm not mistaken, that mod was always free. It's a free creation. It's available on Xbox. I hope that it'll be available on the PlayStation 5. He's got the EIT outfits as well. Let's see. So I've got the Bounty Hunter sling bag. That's this thing on the back with the little water bottle there. I got the belt. That's with the pistol and cross harness. I've got the hat, of course, because how are you going to be a bounty hunter without that fucking hat, you guys? It's not possible. I got the jacket because it's been a long time since I had the guts to pop my collar like that, and it feels good. Let's see. The outfit underneath is the pants and the shirt, the sleeveless shirt. I've got the watch because that just looks killer. And I've got the Cyber Hunter Cyber Arms left because canonically, Vandal has a cyber left arm. Zone 79 is awesome. And now, Zone 79, if he wasn't before, is definitely a verified creator and has put out one of my favorite quest and narrative mods, which also adds a whole new faction, and that's Cryomancer. And Cryomancer is intense and awesome and good, and has a couple of new weird-looking Xenos with like cryo tubes all over them and stuff. And those can be tamed with Xeno Master. So like, I can't just do Ashta anymore. Now I've got to rock the stuff from Cryomancer as well because they look like cool little dogs with like Mr. Freeze stuff all over them. And so that's awesome, and I gotta make sure I have that. What else here? I got a couple more. Oh, X2357. So, here's the thing with X2357. Most of his stuff is free or really low cost, and he's got tons of it. I think the last count that I saw was something like in the ballpark of 105 mods made by our friend X2357. And I am never without the Prime weapon skins AIO. Let me see if I can get back to my character here. Yeah, I'm never without the Prime weapon skins. I'm never without the Prime armor skins. I'm just not, because I love them that much. But he's also got the Starborn Guardian, the black Starborn Guardian, and my character's been through the uni, I don't know, 17 times, some crazy shit like that. I like to pop in a black Starborn Guardian, polished like obsidian glass, because it's just badass. And X has clothing mods that I have not been able to play yet. Oh my god, I cannot believe I completely spaced that when I wrote down my list. I do not have X's clothing mods in my current load order. Dorgan Ironside did a killer video about X's clothing mods several months ago now, and I meant to add them to my load order, and then one thing happened and another thing happened, and I just completely spaced it because I'm an idiot, and I apologize. X, mi culpa. They will be added very, very shortly, my friend, because they're awesome. Your clothing mods are killer. And along with Zone 79, I don't want to walk around in a world where characters aren't wearing this stuff. It's not cool. The texture of the Milky Way is the best one out there. I agree. Abso-freaking-lutely. One other mod, Mr. Combs, Coons, I will say, that you might think about, I know it's not a visual upgrade mod, but I find it to be tons of fun, is the Modular Explosive Delivery by Anvil Creations. I think it's fantastic. And it allows you to create these drones, build these drones from parts, and then send them over the battlefield, over to a group of guys that are standing there and blow them the hell up. It's sick and awesome, and provides all kinds of interesting tactical ways that you can approach different encounters and whatnot now. The vanilla costs are pretty limited. Granted, what you're looking at when you're looking at my Steam save here, or a Steam loadout, is fairly ridiculous because I'm running HD replacers for all the BA2s for the base game assets. I'm running the LUTs, LUTS, the lighting mods. I'm running Rabbit's lights. I've got, you know, all these different X2357 weapon skins and armor skins, which are much more high def than the ones that were released with the game in the first place. I mean, look at this thing. And granted, this is probably not the best one to show it off with, but it's my favorite. It's the carbon fiber Constellation Mark I spacesuit, the Superior. And it's just a ton of fun and looks badass. Like he's a bulletproof astronaut from a timeline where we never stopped going to the moon after Apollo. You know? He's a soldier from NASA with a kind of upgraded NASA spacesuit, which is pretty awesome when you consider that there's 4 astronauts slingshotting around the moon as we speak right now in real life, and they're all wearing some highly upgraded carbon fiber and armored by Prada spacesuits that have workable joints of all things. Astronauts back in the 60s, guys, could not bend over and pick something up off the ground. It was impossible to bend at the waist or at the knees or at the elbows even. They had to kind of stiffen it in like a big water balloon, bouncing around the lunar surface. Not anymore. Ronaldo Moon, what's up, bud? Yeah, the Starfield HD overhaul. And that wouldn't affect your achievements at all, John. So I would definitely recommend that, and probably the LUTs. I don't think those affect your achievements because those are, you know, lighting mods like EMBs and that kind of stuff. And then Rabbit's Lights. Those are my recommendations. Obviously, your miles may vary. So there we have it. Off the top of my head, the creations and mods that I think are definitely worth spending your Todd bucks on. Let me see if I can I get into, for whatever reason, when I do installed, it doesn't show everything. It shows like a really truncated list here for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I noticed that today, and I couldn't recall whether that was ever the case before. But as you can see, I've got all kinds of stuff in here, and a lot of it's paid. Sammy and the Lab of Nightmares we started a couple of weeks ago. A lot of fun, craziest accent on this thing ever. Reminds me of a guy I used to know back when I lived on the East Coast. And I can't do that accent very well. Rameth could do it, but it's fantastic and hilarious. So I can't wait to see how that one turns out. And you get a little baby pet that looks very similar to the one that we're getting with the base game tomorrow. I wonder what's going on with that. Zone City Homes. Zone 79, who does these outfit mods like that Bounty Hunter mod, also made this great mod with 4 new player homes. And I've only unlocked the UC one, and it's fantastic. It's even got a weird operating theater with a very, very nasty Xeno splayed wide on the table being dissected for some reason. It's gorgeous. So these are the kinds of things that I like to play with. I like to make my game look as awesome as possible on my PC, but I don't have to play it that way. You know, like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, guys, I played on my iPhone with the Xbox controller for at least 12 hours over the course of 2 weeks, and had a good time. And I wasn't running any mods at all until, I don't know, the last 4 hours or so, when I finally figured out that I could put it on a tablet and download the mods.
Yeah, Frank Rennick's all in his place because his robot got vandalized. We had a good
Rabbit's lights really add this atmospheric kind of take, which really stands out in places like New Atlantis and here in Neon. Just gorgeous. And I'm a big fan, what can I say? The new crew, Lyria, Everbright, Farseer, all great. AlmightySE is my all-time favorite quest mod author as of right now. And I'm not picking favorites because actually I've got nothing against anyone else. But I have more AlmightySE stuff. I have all of them. The Veil, Beyond the Veil, Continuum, Everbright. What was the other one? You just said it, didn't you? Farseer. Farseer gave me fits with the puzzle at the end. But once I figured out what I was doing wrong, I was like, that is freaking clever. Yeah, it's beautiful in here. Take a look at this. All the NPCs have names. They all look like player characters, something that people made in the character creator and tried to look their best. They don't look like Play-Doh. They'll even have conversations with one another occasionally. And all of this is because of Souls of Cities, which is another one of my favorite mods that I don't like to play without. It is fantastic. And Zone has a couple of mods that add crowd faces that are also... Hi. Bathing suit, huh? All right, I'm not judging. What's up? So there's a couple different ways that you can achieve this type of thing. I'm kind of stunned that none of them are having conversations, though. Because when I was in New Atlantis earlier waiting to go live, everybody over there was like, hi, it's nice to see you. Whatever happened to Daryl? I heard he dropped out of college and left town, you know, and they were just having light conversations. I was like, wow, check this out. Boy, that adds a lot. But yeah, the characters walking around the cities, thanks to Souls of Cities and all these tricky lighting mods and everything else, they're all wearing unique outfits. There's no twins, you know. They've all got names. And swear Scouts Honor, they sometimes have conversations with each other. At least they were over in New Atlantis. So, there you go. Bard's Names. Yeah, Bard's Names is another way that you can do it. Bard also does according to Thorgan, some of the best outpost mods that you can get. The outpost settler menu and the outpost which directs them, and then the outpost settler beacon. I'm not sure. I think that's what it's called. I have them in my load order. I have not yet had a chance to play with them because I've yet to build my first settlement. Hopefully we'll get to that with the new expansion. But yeah, however you do it, however you give them names or give them faces and outfits, kind of mix them up so they're not twins of one another walking down the street. To me, it makes the game that much better. And then, of course, you have the HD graphics and the shadows and the reflections and the crazy outfits. I mean, at this point, I think I need a high-def face replacer because the weak spot now is my characters' faces and skin, not their outfits. Thanks to X and Zone 79 and some of the other great modders out there who are putting together these creations and mods.